Brand new, actually very impressive electric SUV from Hyundai, the Ioniq 9. Already some big discounts. I mean, big discounts. You can get one for around 48,000 US dollars. That's not much different to a Tesla Model Y, which is a much smaller vehicle. This new electric seven-seat SUV is quite a good car, and I'm surprised that it's already being discounted. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Just want to say a big thank you to all of our YouTube members. If you'd like to become a member, I'll put a link in the description below. So the Hyundai Ioniq 9, it's kind of like the Kia EV9, but I think a little bit better. Slightly more expensive, but let's look at the prices and let's look at the discounts as well and figure out whether or not it's a good deal. The Ioniq 9, Hyundai's first all-electric three-row SUV, has been priced. It starts at $59,000 or $58,955, and it tops out at 76,000 US dollars. A little bit more expensive than the Kia EV9, but it has a bigger battery and has more range, and actually is a little nicer as well. In fact, the battery is quite big. It's a 110.3 kilowatt hour battery. This is, let's just say, 110 kilowatt hour battery, NMC battery, and that includes the base version. Every version gets that same battery. The base version is called the Ioniq 9 rear-wheel drive S, and it pairs the sizable battery with a 215 horsepower electric motor driving the rear axle. Gets good range. It's 335 miles. That's EPA, 540 kilometers. WLTP is going to be around about 600 kilometers. So good range from a big vehicle. The only question is it a bit underpowered? I mean, 215 horsepower for a vehicle this big and this heavy, I think it is a bit underpowered. That's my personal opinion. While paying 59,000 US dollars, including a 1,600 destination fee, sounds expensive. I don't think it is, considering what you're actually getting. The Kia EV9 starts at 55,000, but the base Kia gets only a 76 kilowatt hour battery and 230 miles of range, which is 370 kilometers. You're getting a battery pack that is 34 kilowatt hours bigger, much bigger. Even the higher versions, the more expensive versions of the Kia EV9 get a 99.8 kilowatt hour battery. So really, it's a bit more than 10 kilowatt hour bigger battery for the Hyundai Ioniq 9. And I think, therefore, it's actually better value than the Kia EV9. For some context, the longest range version you can get in the United States of the Kia EV9 is the light long range rear-wheel drive, and that has 304 miles or 489 kilometers of range. So there's a fair difference. 5 other versions of the Ioniq 9 have been announced in the United States, all of which have all-wheel drive. The first of those is the Ioniq 9 all-wheel drive SE, starting at a price of $62,765. So Aussies, for context, that's about actually nearly 100,000 Australian dollars. But I think actually it's not a bad price. That's got 303 horsepower, it's all-wheel drive, and it has 320 miles of range, which is 515 kilometers. WLTP, probably closer to 580 or 590. Sitting above that is the better equipped all-wheel drive SEL, priced from 66,000 US dollars. Same powertrain, same range, just has some extra features. 3 versions of the Ioniq 9 Performance are then available. Bit confusing, there's so many options to get. The base performance version, that's called the Limited, Performance Limited. That has 422 horsepower. That's 311 miles of range as well, 500 kilometers exactly, and it starts at 71,000 US dollars. Sitting above that in the range is the Performance Calligraphy, starting at 75,000 US dollars, gets more features. And then you have the flagship model, the Performance Calligraphy Design, priced from 76,500. Me personally, I honestly would prefer the rear-wheel drive, but if it just had a bit more power. I think that 215 horsepower motor is just too small for the weight and size of this vehicle. That would be my pick, the rear-wheel drive, if it just had a more powerful motor. But seeing as it doesn't, I'd have to get one of the all-wheel drive models. All buyers and lessees of the Hyundai Ioniq 9 can choose to receive a free ChargePoint Home Flex Level 2 charger, it's a mouthful, or a $400 charge point charging credit. And remember, this vehicle it is eligible for the $7,500 federal EV tax credit, meaning the cheapest Ioniq 9 effectively starts at $53,000, including destination costs. And in fact, here's the thing, guys. If you did want to get one now, Hyundai are already offering deals. And considering they're offering $13,000 discounts on lease prices, I'm going to guess you might be able to negotiate a slightly lower price than all the prices that I've just mentioned. If leasing isn't your thing, Hyundai is offering financing options with a 2% finance rate, or 1.99%, which is lower than inflation, or a 5.99% rate, which includes a $5,000 bonus. So, what are the details of these deals? Well, Hyundai, $13,000 in lease cash, and you can lease it for around $558 a month for the base version, which seems like a pretty good deal. Several trim levels of the Ioniq 9 come with up to $13,000 in lease cash that discounts the MSRP available for those who opt for a 36-month lease. This makes it possible to get an rear-wheel drive Ioniq 9S for as little as $419 a month, so about $100 a week. That's US dollars, by the way. But $100 a week, that is just, wow, that's actually really good. Hyundai, guys, does require a down payment, though, which is $5,000 US dollars. That raises the effective monthly payment to $558. However, still a good deal. When you compare it to a car that I think is nowhere near as good, but is a sort of a similar price, similar type size car, Toyota's Highlander XLE Hybrid, that is $662. So, I mean, I know which one I'd be getting for sure. But if you don't want a 3-year commitment, you can get a 24-month lease, and lease cash offered on those is $10,000 and $11,000 depending on the model. So big discounts for this car, which I don't understand why they're doing this when it's a new vehicle, new to market. Customers also can opt for a 2% financing rate, or 1.99%, or a 5.99% rate that includes a $5,000 bonus. Additionally, the Ioniq 9 qualifies for the full $7,500 EV tax credit. So if you put the bonuses together, guys, if you get the 5.99% rate and you get the $5,000 bonus, plus you get the $7,500 federal EV tax credit, which most people are eligible for, that would bring the cost to $48,000 to actually buy it. So now we're looking at what we thought was $59,000. Now it's a $48,000 car for a pretty luxurious 7-seat electric SUV with, nearly 350 miles of range. That's pretty impressive. So guys, what are your thoughts? Is this a good deal? I actually think it is. Let me know what you think in the comments.